Hello, beautiful people. I hope you're having a wonderful day today. This is Your Story's Not Over with your host, Erin. Hey, y'all. I want to talk to y'all about 5 things today. Brief words. We're going to touch on an ego and what it does, envy and what it does, anger, ignorance, and a little bit on fear because we talk a lot about fear. So, an ego. And ego's, that when you think you're better than someone kind of attitude, when your ego's so big that nobody can tell you anything because you know it all. Well, guess what? That prevents you from learning from people. So where is an ego good? Your ego should be humble and kind and wanting to learn and wanting to listen and hearing what the people you care about have to say, what matters to them, what makes them feel a certain way. When you have envy, of what other people have or what other people are doing in this world, you don't focus on yourself. It prevents you from being able to look into yourself and see where you are. And that matters. Because how can you change your perspective and change who you are if you're not looking into yourself because you're envious of other people or your ego's so big that you're not listening? Anger. We've talked about anger before. Anger is one of those extremes from mad. But anger prevents you from being able to see and to have focus. And so when you have a big ego and you are envious and you present it with anger, then you're not learning. You're not learning from yourself. You're not learning from others. You're not seeing clearly the whole picture. I love how everything adds up on itself. The whole world does that. I hope some of y'all see that. Ignorance. What is ignorance? Is ignorance being stupid? No. Ignorance is not being stupid. When you call someone ignorant, you're actually just saying they did not know. Ignorance is not knowing what something is. It is different than being stupid. But when you are refusing to learn and refusing to have knowledge and you stay ignorant in life, it prevents you from making good decisions in this world. And then last but not least, fear. Because fear, as we know, prevents you from seizing opportunities, from growing, from learning if you get on that fear track. So you see how if you have an ego and if you have envy and anger and ignorance and fear, where are you going to end up in life? It's all about perspective, and I talk about that. So let's flip the coin real quick. What instead of having an ego, you were humbled and your heart was open, then what? Then you could learn and you could feel and you could have sympathy and empathy. What if instead of having envy, you wanted to give and you wanted to love and you wanted to share? That would really change things, wouldn't it? Especially if you were humble and kind and wanted to give. Whenever you received good blessings, you wanted to give blessings out. What if instead of angry, you were understanding and loving? Wow. Swapping these around really is something, isn't it, guys? And what if instead of ignorance, you had the want to know and learn so that you always did what was best? And what if instead of having fear, you were brave? I know this is all a little crazy. Sometimes life is crazy. But y'all, seriously, think about this. I gave you 5 negatives and 5 positives. Your perspective of how that flips around and how you choose to look at it and who you choose to be matters. Like I told my teenage girl today, you take your past and what you've been through and who you were, and you learn and you take those learning lessons to determine who you're going to be. Because who you're going to be is going to be based on a perspective and a perspective of how you look at life. So if you want to look at life in the negative, if you want to look at life with these 5 things, such as ego and envy and anger and ignorance and fear track, go ahead. Nobody is stopping you but you. But if you want to look at life with humble and with grace and with understanding and willingness to grow and learn and bravery, good. You're on the right page. You're on the right track. You're heading the right direction in life. Remember, every day you got to practice it. Every day you got to remind yourself. You're always going to find scenarios where you want to revert and you don't, because you remind yourself, because you push forward for yourself, not for anyone else. Hey, y'all, don't ever forget, you're freaking awesome. Make your day freaking awesome. I'll catch you I always mess up sometimes. I'll catch you next time on Your Story's Not Over. You're still writing it. Peace out.